Hello everybody, good morning, welcome back to my channel. This is your Highland girl with her stories. So this morning, let us pull up a chair and let's get cracking. Bring out your suck, your sky juice, your lollipop, whatever you want to suck on something while we talk, or snack on something while we talk. And I know that we're not going for the guys. We're not. I promise you, this is not about men and stuff like that. But we ladies, we need to pull up a chair and we need to start talking about the elephant that is in the room. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for coming back and liking. Thank you for coming back and sharing your thoughts. Let us pull up a chair, share your thoughts, hit the notification bell. And if your notification bell have a line in it, it telling you that you won't hear when I put something out which is new. So you need to get that notification bell that's saying haul. So everything that the Highland girl with her stories is coming to you with, then you will get that, right? So once again, thank you for subscribing and liking and spending your 2 cents in the comment section. But there's a elephant in the room that I want to address. A elephant in the room that we hear different stories and we hear other mothers. So this one definitely is going to be about women, us ladies. I was told that not all women can be called a lady. All right. So you may see things going back and forth because I'm in my car, sitting in my car, and I decided that, you know what, before I go anywhere this morning, let us talk about the elephant, the doggone elephant in the room. Yes, let us talk about that elephant. So, woman, let's get talking from you start having that girls from radios that start visiting to the day when you miss it. And if it's like someone that I knew told her daughter, you see that thing that you got there, when you don't have it no more, you have to tell me what you do with it. So when parents wasn't educated to talk to their daughters about their period, and poor girl, it came, it was with her for a couple of days and then it disappeared. And she has no clue what happens to it. And she don't know what to tell her mother. So she starts smoking. Ladies, mothers. We need to talk to our daughters about things that may happen to them and they have no clue or no understanding of what's happening with their bodies. Not only that, we became parent. Number one, we weren't taught about the bird and the bees, the flowers and the trees and this thing called love. We were never sit down, most of us, let us say for the minority or the majority of us, were never put in a chair and sit down and talk about these things. And so when you see your body, something is happening with your body, you have no clue and you're afraid to go tell mama. I remember my little sister, she came home from school one day and she was excited. She took the class sex education and she was so excited, and she walked into the room and she said, mommy, you know what I learned about sex education today? And I personally witnessed my mother tell her to get out, you rude. The poor child was learning something in school and was so excited. How many of us have gone through that where we were never told about it, where nobody explained it to me? All my friends were older And I remember this girl. I was living with my grandmother, and this girl name is Lillian. And I rudely looked up. I was laying on the floor, and so happened, so she walked into the shop, and my little brain did not know anything better than I remember laying on the floor looking up, and I see, the sister from Red Hills, and I shouted it out. "Oh my God, you're sick!" And the poor girl was so embarrassed. And my grandmother grabbed a switch. "Whap, whap. What are you doing in here? I keep telling you to stay out of my shop." But the same girl, Lillian, came back a few days later, and she sat me down. And she told me, because I was saying nobody told me, but that wasn't true. Lillian told me it was going to happen, and sometime it was going to be painful. So it was a total stranger, a kind person who teach me about that. But what about for the ones like my sister who didn't have it for a couple of days, and the mother told her, the thing that she have there, when you don't have it anymore, you are going to tell me what to do with it. Can you imagine the terror going on in her mind? And what am I gonna do? I don't have it anymore, and I didn't do anything with it, right? So this is a elephant in the room that we're not talking. And you think, well, it's modern day now, they teach it. Yeah, modern day is yes, but you weren't taught. Now you are a mother. Now you're responsible for another life. This is a job that you got without pay, that you can go to prison any minute for. And so this is a job that you have to do whether you like it or not, whether you know what you're doing or not. You just, in your head, keep this baby alive. In your head, keep this baby alive. Anything you do to this child, you will go to prison. So then, your whole life is wrapped around that child. Your whole life is wrapped around that child. If you're hungry, you're making sure that that child eats. That child is always fed. I remember the days when I have a couple pieces of clothes that I mismatch. And let's say I have 3 nice suits, or 3 nice, maybe top and bottom, and you can, interchange with them. But guess what? My daughter, everybody would think that I have money, because that was my job, is to make sure that that child did not in need, couldn't make sure she was always having everything she needs that I could afford, that was possible for her not to go hungry, clothesless, and homeless. And not to mention, in America, I was a single mother doing it all. The one job that you have to do, that you can't afford to mess up on, and you're trying to keep that child from getting into trouble. You're trying not to go to prison. And in America here, if your child doesn't go to school, you're responsible and you can be arrested. So not only that, you have to make sure that food is on the table, you have to make sure that they go to school. So the job you have as a mother, sometimes a single parent, that you get no paid for, and you're doing the best you can because you want to keep yourself out of prison and that child safe. Now you're a teacher, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're an advisor, you are a referee. You learn you become so many different people in one. And it doesn't stop there. I remember my grandmother used to say, when they are a baby, they tied your foot, and when they grow up, they tied your heartstring. And I used to just always scratching the side of my head. I'm like, how is it a baby can tie your heartstring? Because I was looking at it and a different handle. I was looking at it in the logic when it was actually illogical. So this one job, the job you have, that you have to multitask, the job you have when that child is sick, the job you have when that child get in trouble, the job you have when the homework is down, that job. And then they grew up, as my grandmother would say, and they tie your heartstring. And so you're worried about your children all the time, constantly. And fathers, I'm not saying you're not worried about your children, but mother have a different type of bond with their babies. Mothers, to me, sometimes don't see their kid past age 6. The years when they were nicer. I didn't have a turbo 2. I think my daughter was 2 going on 20, because as a baby she was different. Yeah, my child was different. She never really hacked her head, so she was different. I didn't have a miserable child, no. But what about the parents who have a child that was sick, always sick? And I have a part of that where she was asthmatic, so I remember one time she got sick. Yeah, she wasn't always sick. Like some people constantly have maybe a Down syndrome child or a special need. My child wasn't a special need. So what about the people who had a special need? And I'm coming back to when I said when she was sick, and it feel like it was clockwork to me because she was asthmatic and grandma seizure at the same time. And she was only 1. I mean, I only had 1. But what about the parents who have 6, 7? So my mother is a mother of 7. So she have 7 of us. 1 passed a year ago. And so 6 of us is left. But what about the parent, the single mothers? And sometimes we didn't have to be single. We didn't have to be a single mother. It's just a job we got. It's just the way the dice roll. And we end up into certain situation. And sorry for the son and the changes, but we ended up in a situation where we really didn't like where we at, but it's what we got. And what we're gonna do? Take it out on our children? No. And then you might say, but lady, I know my mother did. I can vouch for that too, because my mother did just the same. I have 2 books written, with my memoir for the world to read. You can see it. If I do it, you can do it too. It's not about that right now. We're talking about the elephant in the room, mothers, women. And when we go through all that was said and all that was done, we still, our children grow up, they're tied to our heartstring, but our job is not yet done. And some of us is gifted with this thing called menopause. So after you've been through all of that, and they said God never give you anything that you can't bear. So he sustain you with the energy and the strength that you need to go through this thing called menopause. We deal with that lady, that red lady that came every month, that you have to tend to every month, and you have to buy her product every month. And when she's leaving, she gave you something that called menopause. You get hot flashes. You wake up in night sweat, feel like someone just tossed a bucket of water on you. You okay and you're not okay. You happy and you're sad at the same time. You get so many different emotions that you don't even know which one to hang on to. You don't know. It's almost like you don't know your mother from a broomstick. Menopause, the elephant. Menopause is the thing that we go through after we as women struggle with parenting. And ladies, don't feel like because you did not birth a child that you're not part of this. You are fully aware and you're fully a part of this, because some people are better parents to strangers than the real mother to the child. I have the bill and the receipt for what I'm talking about. But this thing, we suffered with it. We could, this lady, this red lady, we used to say the sister from Red Hills that is visiting. Excuse me. The sister from Red Hills that is visiting. You know she's coming. And sometimes, for some strange reason, she pop up before she really did ready for her to come. And she pop up, and you have to have her things ready. You have to have painkiller and all her little nappy and napkins that they want, that she wants, that you have to provide. She didn't give you the money for it. She didn't ask you if you would like her to come. She didn't ask you anything. She show up, and sometimes show up before the time. And eventually, when she gets hold that she can't travel anymore, she turn your life in an havoc. Why? What did we do? What we do? What did we do? Because what they said, Eve tricked Adam into eating the apple, and that's the reason why we're suffering. Yeah? I'm wanting say the story probably flip. Adam the hungry, loving belly. Because what I'm saying, there is no way to a man's heart like his stomach. So if he ain't loving God, he wouldn't in the predicament and then turn around and blame Eve when him fully responsible for it. And I can't switch it the other way and say maybe that's the reason why people said the way to a man's heart is through their stomach. And some men, guys, whoa, sick up in that and hear what I have to say here for the guys. Be careful where you don't want to eat from. That's all I have to say. But this story is not for Uno. That is another thing all to itself. I'm talking about this big elephant in the room called menopause. After we went through so many different ordeals, then we have to turn around and deal with her bullshit. She was the sister, Red Hills. It's the same girl. That same girl from Red Hills. When she decided not to show up anymore, she decided, okay, I'm gonna give you more gray hair faster than you ever wanted. I am going to wake you up in the middle of the night, feel like you're dying. Some days you're gonna have anxiety to the point where you think you're having a heart attack. Some night you wake up and you had to change your clothes and change your bed because it's like you were swimming in a pool. The sister from Red Hills changed her name in menopause. And this elephant, sometimes they don't understand it. Sometimes your children might not understand it. Oh, mommy losing her mind. Oh, I asked mommy for something today and she said she don't have it. Could it be that she's dealing with so much different things that she really can't pay attention to what you want? Children, they are a blessing from God. They're a gift from God. And they really don't belong to us. They don't. They have their own lives. But I heard Dolly Parton says, God give you daughters so that your mama can say, I told you so. And I can't wait to when she's going into menopause. I can't wait. If I live to see it, and if I don't live to see it, I know their hands will come to my grave and whisper, oh, she's in menopause. Because some of the stuff that our children does to us, we just want a payback and can't wait for the payback. And I'm telling the truth, a payback. And I don't know if I am going to be lucky enough for her to have daughter for me to say, I told you so. I might not be that lucky one. But guys, ladies, gentlemen, understand that when we are going off on something, and when we're saying something, and when we're telling you what's going on with us, and when you're like, oh, that's nothing. Oh yeah, really? Okay. Okay. If you think it's nothing. But for the mamas out there, and I'm sure I'm not the only one going through menopause. And not even, let's come back to this going through menopause thing. Have you guys seen the side effects of the pills that they want to give you for menopause? Have you read some of it? This is like the fine print. Are you listening to the TV and they advertise the medicine? I'm not going to call whatever name of the medicine, but they had advertised the medicine and then they tell you possible side effects. Can even kill you. So a few years ago when my doctor saying she was going to prescribe it, and I said to her, the possible side effects. She said, oh yeah, but that is like 1 in a million. I am that 1 in the million. Because if it's going to happen and it's bad, whew, here I am. It will. So I decided not to take anything for it. And I was so glad when I wasn't getting hot flashes anymore, and it was nice and cool. And I love it in the winter time, because then my body is cooler in the winter time. News flash. And then I went and removed my thyroid. And I'm not gonna say it is what happened, but the minute I take the thyroid out, it's like my body go whoo, and I have all sort of emotions that I'm dealing with every single day, laughing like it's nothing. Because when you know what is going on with your body, then you know how to really deflect. So now I'm start getting hot flashes, night sweat, panic attack. But luckily, I realize what's going on. And I'm not saying it's a removal of the thyroid, because I used to get them before, but it went away for a good, I want to say a good 3 years. I did not have that. A good 3 years. And then right out of surgery, my body is changing, because you know when you remove anything from your body that was there. You were born with it, you cut some part of it off, you take something out of your system. It's like your body know that there is something that gone, something left. And so it is its way of saying, hey, what did you do to me? What's going on? What did you do to me? What is going on? And with that said, we just have to hang on tight. When you start getting anxiety attack, just take in deep breath and breathe. And tell yourself you're okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I remember there was this lady. I was working in a certain hotel in Vegas, and there was this billionaire came there, and they had a party, and she was wasted, and she couldn't find her room. And I mean, somebody with money, and she had on a white suit, just as I have on this white jacket. She had on a pantsuit, very elegant white suit, and this lady was wasted, and she couldn't find her room. And I had to help her and with security to make sure that she wasn't playing like she was drunk, and she was really, because some of these actresses, they act like they're drunk. You put them into their room, and the next thing you know, you get fired because they go in the room and kill people, right? So I helped her to get to her room. And when I said that she was wasted to the part where she would go, woosa. And so I say that to say this. When I remember her in that way, and when my hot flashes come, and when the anxiety attack take over, I have to, woosa. Woosa. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yes, I'm fine. I'm okay. Woosa. And if that wasn't enough, the thyroid damaged my eyes. So I have to laugh. And I go, woosa. Because God, they said He never give you more than what you can handle. And I said, oof. There's a strong muscle on my heart, because you have given me so much. And then you ask yourself, why did he give you so much? And then I am saying to let others know that you've been through so much and you're still here talking about it with a smile. They were going to be okay. And I'm not saying this so say, well, because you have atheists out there will say, well, my God, that's why I don't believe in anything. Kudos to you. You don't believe in anything. You don't believe in God. You don't believe in what you don't believe in. That's on you. And as Cat Williams would say, in the height of a romance, when he know he can say, God, 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 God. Whoo, you all know what we're talking about. But the atheists, in the height of it, who you call on? Who you call on? You call out the person name you with? But who you call, is that what you do? Right? So, guys, hang on tight. Life is never without chaos. Hang on tight. And this thing called menopause. And you know what? It didn't even stop there. You go where you lose your damn mind and they call it dementia. Alzheimer's. So, we just have to hang on to the unchangeable hands of God and never let him go, because he is with you always. God is with you always. Always. We need him. For the ones who believe in Jehovah, the one who believe in him, the one who believe in God, hang on to the unchangeable hands of God, because he will never leave or forsake you. Thanks for hanging out again with me. Come back again. Walk good. You hear?